TikTok has changed my life in many more ways than one, and if it's truly about to be banned in the United States, I have some thoughts that I'd like to share. There are specifically 3 critical ways in which I think TikTok has drastically improved me as a person, as I'm sure it's done for many creators, and we'll come back to that in a little bit. But this platform has done so much for so many people, and I think it's objectively true that no matter what sort of excuse that our government can make, banning TikTok is an attack on our free speech, even if it's an indirect one. And yes, there are legitimate security concerns about the app, but we should be willing to accept those concerns as individuals. While I'm not one of them, there are plenty of creators out there who rely on TikTok as their primary platform for a full-time job. And I have a few creator friends who are facing this harsh reality right now in the ambiguity of not knowing what they're going to do if the app does get banned on Sunday. Senator Ed Markey, who is planning an extension proposal for the TikTok ban, couldn't have said it any better by saying that these communities cannot be replicated on another app. A ban would dismantle a one-of-a-kind informational and cultural ecosystem, silencing millions in the process. And I don't think there's a better way to put it. Yes, other platforms exist, but there is something truly special about this app, something that just can't be replaced. And obviously, this does have to do with its algorithm. And again, it's our choice as adults to accept using said algorithm. The idea that any of us have to make this video is just really a shame, and there's no other way to put it. The fact of the matter is, I was never really that big on this platform. In fact, I've lost a fair share of my original follower base on it, but regardless, it has changed my life for the better, and I think some of the things that I learned are either universal or something that may resonate with you guys. I mean, without you guys, none of this would have ever been possible. And again, without you guys, I wouldn't have been able to be one step closer to fulfilling my lifelong dream. You have fundamentally changed my life, whether you were with me through the hustly days of this account or in its current state as Jerry's Takes. You've been with me in my heart all along the way, and you will continue to be forever. And as such, here are the 3 ways that you guys and this platform have changed my life. First off, if it wasn't for TikTok, I could safely say that I would have never transitioned from a marketing degree, taking pictures of properties for a commercial real estate company, into a finance role where I'm investing every day professionally in New York City. I started posting about the stock market shortly after I became obsessed with it, and once the page itself took off, I found myself getting more and more obsessed with it, which led me down a path to pursue a career in it. And now, obviously, I don't post about stocks anymore, but my professional career has shifted entirely to spending every single day focusing on it. And none of that would have happened if it wasn't for TikTok. Next, if it wasn't for TikTok, I would have never ever had the confidence to put myself out there and, simply put, not give a flying fuck what anyone that I personally know thinks about it. I didn't care much to begin with, to be honest with you, but the repetitive nature of posting frequently to this platform really accelerated my confidence and made it easy to transition onto other platforms. Which is why, naturally, the 3rd way that this platform has changed my life is that if it wasn't for TikTok to begin with, I wouldn't have been compelled to grow externally, which has launched my YouTube career, which I could safely say that I'm personally more proud of than any media venture that I've ever endeavored on, talking about things that I love every single day. TikTok has changed my life in even more ways than this. It's also introduced me to creators whom I call friends, and on a few occasions, it's even allowed me to meet some of you in person. For the admittedly very few times that I've ran into someone on the streets who's seen my content, trust me, it has meant the world. It's crazy to think that a platform that is capable of doing all this good could potentially be gone in a few days. Sometimes life just puts you on a path and you have to trust it. I'm not exactly sure what it was, whether it was my gut, destiny, karma, or whatever. I took it and I ran with it because you can't connect the dots looking forward. You could only connect them looking backwards. And looking back over these last 4 years, I trusted that intuition. And looking into the next 4 years and beyond, I still plan on trusting that feeling and I wish the same for you. While I'm doubtful that a ban like this is honestly permanent, especially under the upcoming administration, you really never know. And I mean, I may look back on this and laugh in a few days when we have an announcement that it's going to be saved, or this may be my last video on TikTok. Even though I do have faith that it will remain, it's still ambiguous. And as of me recording this video, the Supreme Court said that they'd be making an official announcement regarding their ruling, or on Friday, January 17th, if you're watching this after the fact. So I really don't know. The fact of the matter is, I have had the time of my life on this platform over the last 4 years. If you're watching this video on YouTube, you could feel free to ignore this section, but if you're watching this on TikTok, thank you. It's not the right word. The feelings that I feel for the community that we have built along the ride literally surpass words. For the time being, you could find me on all platforms. That's X, Instagram, YouTube especially, and even Lemon8, because TikTok's been pushing that down my throat, and I did sign up for it. It's really hard giving potentially closing remarks, but I want you to know that this experience will stick with me throughout the rest of my life. And at that, I'll leave you with the sign off that I used to leave all of my old finance videos. On the other side, I'll talk to you later. Stay hungry, stay foolish.